Hi everyone. The issue of electricity in many countries is still a controversial topic that is being widely discussed. From children to the elderly, from YouTube viewers to the National Assembly, everyone talks about electricity. You may not know that China is currently facing a very serious electricity crisis. So, what has happened to China? Let's find out in this video. China has had to face a serious electricity crisis. This crisis has seriously affected the operations of many factories and businesses across the country, resulting in power cuts and load shedding everywhere. Many factories across 2/3 of China have suffered from power shortages, forcing many of them to suspend production for at least a few hours. Millions of households in northeastern China have also lost power and are unable to use electricity to meet their basic living needs. According to the South China Morning Post, some key manufacturing companies for Apple and Tesla have had to purchase generators and stock up on inventory to maintain the supply chain. Overall, the electricity crisis has had a major impact on China's economy and has also disrupted global supply chains. As you all know, most of the world's goods are produced in China. So, what has caused China to fall into such a dire situation? First and foremost, the core reason is the severe shortage of coal supply, the main raw material for electricity production in China. According to statistics from 2019, coal accounted for about 65% of China's total electricity generation capacity. I am using the 2019 figures temporarily as I have not been able to find more recent data, though it may have changed over time. But rest assured that the discrepancy is not significant compared to the current situation, as it takes a long time to build and commission a power plant. So why is there a shortage of coal? The reason is that China has introduced many new policies to control coal security. In addition, Australia has also imposed a ban on coal exports to China. This has caused China to suffer from a huge coal shortage, leading to power plants operating less efficiently than before. In addition, coal prices have also unexpectedly skyrocketed. The second reason is the increasing demand for electricity in China. We see that the weather is becoming increasingly harsh, and the demand for electricity from the people is also increasing day by day. In fact, this change is just a drop in the bucket compared to China, where the increasing demand for electricity mainly comes from the growing number of factories being built and operated, especially as China's economy relies heavily on energy-intensive industries such as steel, cement, and chemicals. The third reason is that China has participated in environmental protection programs to limit U.S. greenhouse gas emissions. As you can see, environmental issues are one of the rare areas where China and the US are working together. Currently, China is the world's largest greenhouse gas emitter, accounting for over 28% of the total global emissions, which is more than 1/3 of all other countries combined. Therefore, China is also participating in protecting this increasingly deteriorating planet by reducing emissions, with improving the emission standards of coal-fired power plants being one of the approaches. However, to improve the quality of emissions, coal-burning technology needs to be optimized and modernized, which requires more investment and more machinery changes. This may disrupt China's power system and not allow them to freely build low-standard power plants as before, affecting the electricity supply speed that cannot meet the increasing demand for electricity. China has committed that, let us emit the maximum greenhouse gas emissions by 2030, and we promise that by 2060, China will have 100% clean energy sources, with no more emissions. Looking at this, we can see that China is acting very kind in protecting the environment. However, in the face of this crisis, they cannot take the economy lightly and commit to a clean environment. So, China's short-term solution is to buy and burn as much coal as possible. According to Reuters, China has ordered domestic coal mines to increase their capacity to the highest possible level and allowed power plants to increase their retail prices to encourage them to buy coal at higher prices. In addition, China has also relaxed restrictions on coal imports from countries such as Indonesia, Russia, and Mongolia to supplement domestic supply. However, this is not a long-term solution as it violates China's environmental protection commitments. Therefore, China is investing more in hydroelectric, solar, and wind power. They are even considering nuclear power, with research and development artificial sun. This is a type of nuclear reactor that can provide endless energy for humans. If successful, the government may have to beg people to use electricity because there is too much of it. It's a dream scenario, but who knows what the future holds. Currently, China has an enormous power generation system, with a total installed capacity of 2,240 gigawatts, double that of the United States. Of this, coal accounts for 51.8% of the total installed capacity, and hydroelectric power accounts for 17.8% of the total installed capacity. As you can see, China has many enormous hydroelectric power plants, with just the Three Gorges Dam alone providing a maximum of 197 billion kilowatt-hours of electricity per year. Despite China's massive hydroelectric power plants, their total capacity only accounts for nearly 18%. Third is wind power, which accounts for about 10.4% of the total installed capacity. Wind power is China's favorite and most invested renewable energy source, both onshore and offshore. Fourth is solar power, accounting for 10.2% of the total installed capacity. You can see some hills in China covered with solar panels. Fifth is natural gas, accounting for about 4.5%. This is a fossil fuel source with lower greenhouse gas emissions than coal and oil. Finally, nuclear power accounts for about 2.4%. Overall, China is investing heavily in building renewable energy sources to protect the environment and aiming for nuclear power to achieve the highest efficiency. However, this path still seems to be long. What do you think of China's direction? Is it reasonable or not? Let's discuss. Thank you for watching the video. Please leave your comments and subscribe now to never miss a video, and let's learn together. See you again.